went to church, and I would say over 50 years that nothing has ever changed in the church. So if nothing changes, life doesn't change. I went on a holiday that I took months to save up for. Went on a holiday to an Islamic country, southern Turkey, 98% Muslim. I was in a place called Obachek, outside of Pria. I was standing outside this big, large building, which was a mosque. Elderly gentleman said, would I like to go in? And I said, I know I've got to take my shoes off, like, but anyway, he invited me in. But the building from the outside was totally breathtaking. He said you had to do something like wudu or something, and then you'll be with me. And I took my shoes off, and he took me in. And because I walk with a cane, I was offered a seat, and he said, I'll just leave you. I was quite shocked that this fabulous building from the outside had nothing inside except a carpet, with a few seats at the very back. Just 4 plain walls, carpet on the floor, and some blue calligraphy writing. I couldn't understand, but it looked very, very lovely. Anyway, I was sat there and I was totally amazed. And there was only one picture on the wall, and it was written in Arabic. The writing on the left said Muhammad, may blessings be upon him. And then on the right-hand side was written Allah. That was the only thing in the mosque. Of course, when you look at it, and I looked round, the gentleman had disappeared, and so did 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours in an empty room. Okay, amazing. No mobile phone, nothing. Just sitting there, looking at 4 walls with a small picture and admiring the tranquility of that place. So I thought, okay, went out. I've got to find this old chap. Went down the local shop and said, overchecked. And I went back and I waited outside on the road to see him. No. So over the week, I tried to go back to the mosque. Never seen the guy again. Come back to the UK. Done some really wild and stupid things, like tried to have a look into the Turkish way of life and everything else, understanding what people done and why they done it, and why there was always 5 pillars in Islam. Believe it or not, I actually saved up again as hard as I could, and I had to go back. There was something missing, I had to go back. And I went back, and I visited a few other mosques there where people actually took me in, although they couldn't speak English. They knew what I wanted, so they took me in. I never met that gentleman again. Never met him ever again. All he said to me was, it was something in Arabic, and he was going to do wudu. And then he will be with me. He showed me through the door. He said he had to pray. But after all that time, he disappeared, and I was left on my own. Went back, still haven't found him. And I tried, not because I went on holiday, I went to find him to say thank you. And I wanted to know where I could find help. Nothing. Came back here, went back again. Anyway, I wrote to the Imam in Birmingham after a lot of research. And I said, I would like to become Muslim. Everything started, the jigsaw puzzle was filling out very quickly and getting very put together very, very quickly. The key turning point was when I met him. He held his hand out and he said, good afternoon, Alex. Assalamu alaikum. And he told me what it meant. And he went in and he explained basically roughly what Muslim people were about. Not violent, you know. We look after each other, we look after our families, and we try and do the best we can, and we put our faith in Allah, which is God. He said, I said, well, how do you become Muslim? And he said, well, we have a masjid. Friday's a great day for us, and we all get together, and I would like you to come. He said, please come next week on Friday, and we'll go to the masjid. And again, going through that door and finding nothing except carpet and a clock. The place got packed, absolutely jam-packed. And you didn't know who you were standing next to. And it was this, if nobody cared. They were all there for a reason. Nobody was higher or nobody was well off than anybody else, than the person they were standing next to. As long as you stand together, doesn't matter where you stand, as long as you all face the same way, doesn't matter who you stand next to, everyone is the same. And the force that you get when you pray is totally unbelievable. I took my Shahada. I have a certificate to travel as a Muslim. I have the best opportunity and the best gift of all. Only after a couple of years, I've been able to do Umrah. It is not up to me to decide. It is up to Allah to decide who goes and who doesn't. And you know what the best thing is? There is no telephone exchange to get to Allah. There is no telephone exchange at all. It's a direct line from yourself to Allah. Yeah, we don't have to go and tell everybody what we've done wrong. We can tell him directly. If somebody's looking into Islam, go for it. Do it. Don't be frightened of it, and go for it, because it is the only book that has never been altered. The Quran is the Quran. That is it. Do not be frightened of being an outsider. Do not be frightened whatsoever. Look into it. If you're not sure, ask. Do not be frightened to ask. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Shukran. And hopefully one day I will be able to thank you personally.